Hello, and welcome to the Talk with Tariro. We are now in the month of April, a month where we get to celebrate Easter as well as having our own independent celebrations as a country. But as we are coming from March, which is Women's Month, we were running with the theme of break the bias. Did we manage to break the bias really as women? And to what level? Any challenges that we are still facing? And as usual, I have my co-host Alice.
I love it when we celebrate women. Today we want to do a recap on what we did during the Women's History Month. We broke the bias. Let's get to it.
Mm-hmm. And to help us in terms of reflecting on what really transpired and where we are heading to, we have invited a powerhouse in the corporate sector, Melody Harry. Melody is Director of Corporate Communications with TelOne. Melody, welcome to the talk.
Thank you very much, Terry, for having me. Very excited.
Yes. Women's Month. Did we manage to break the bias? You know, people often say, women and your days, this Women's Day, this Women's
Indeed.
what, Mother's Day. There is no Men's Day, there is no what. But as women, we are saying, we are coming from a patriarchal society, patriarchal environment. We still need to break quite a number of biases in our day-to-day lives. Did we break the bias?
Terry, it will never happen over a month or over a day. So I think that it's good that we have this month which helps us to amplify the voice. And I'm glad that indeed we started. During the month, there were so many activities. It was just a vibrant month. And I must say, so many organizations are now very conscious. Yes, and there were so many activities, so many initiatives. Yes. And I think I must commend the corporate space for really trying their part in pushing forward the agenda. So I just want to talk about the theme, breaking the bias. Mm-hmm. It means a lot. We could spend the whole day talking about it. But I think when I hear about it, or when I heard about this theme and viewing it from a corporate seat I was sitting in, I said, in our little way, which biases are existing? What are we able to start doing? Yes. Probably some of it we have already started on it. What can we do to push it forward? So it is a theme that was absolutely befitting, absolutely relevant, specifically in our space and market as Zimbabwe. Yes. So as corporate Zimbabwe, I think a lot of us were very much aware, and I hope it was not just about the month of March, because like I said, we can never deal with it in just a month. I think the month helps us to really set the tone, set the agenda, but we must try and strive to package programs that are more long-term, more sustainable. So I don't think I'll be able to answer you directly to say, did we manage to break the biases or not? Yeah. But what I know we were able to do is we were able to magnify the biases that are there in society, which I can't even start listing because of the background where we are coming from, being African, being patriarchal, with all the burdens that befall a girl or a woman. Yes. Even as I sit here, I may sound or look like I'm all empowered and I have everything right. Yeah. I have everything right, but there are realities that will always be there. I'm a woman, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter-in-law. There's so much that is expected of me. Yeah. So I'm glad that March helped us to set the tone for us to start on the journey of breaking the biases that exist. Yeah.
Did you have something you particularly focused on?
So what we've been trying to do, even before this year's theme, Break the Bias, because I mean, over the years, there are different themes that have been put forward, which still helps us to drive the women's agenda. We've been running a program where we are trying to say, as corporate women, we are rising and we ensure that we support other women within the business space to rise together with them. But we are also saying, let's roll louder, because it's not enough to be up here. Sometimes you are there, it's just ceremonial, but you must roar, you must be heard, you must be assertive. So we are pushing that. But besides that, let's also raise others. There are those that are in circumstances that are less advantaged than us. So let's do something to help these women or these girls. So I'm very proud to be
The
to
corporate women.
Yes, the corporate women. So I'm very proud to be driving a program which we are calling Girls and Women Empowerment, where we are identifying girls from different circumstances, rural, even urban. We have so many young women who are in these circumstances. So we are saying, let's identify them, let's mentor them, let's facilitate training for them, because we think that is beyond these festivities and get-togethers. We want something that is maybe more sustainable, that is more futuristic. So we launched our program, which we call Girls and Women Empowerment, and through this program, and just in the month of March, we reached our mentees, who are the 200 girls enrolled in this program. But beyond the 200 girls, we said, if we are going to Gwanda, why should we just talk to the 2 girls? Because they're in the program. So we decided to bring more girls to these platforms, and we are interacting with these girls. But of course, for the mentorship, the actual one-on-ones, we are just running with the 200 girls. So it's a program that I'm very proud of, because we launched it about 3 years ago, and we've got alumni from that program who can tell their stories. Even if you're not able to give them dollars and cents,
Yes.
we kind of seeded something in them. We you know, you put this hunger in them to want to do something, or to know that they are capable. So we are very proud of that. We open up our doors as professionals for these girls to come through to our offices, work with us throughout a whole week. If they are attached to the managing director, they are like an MD.
They're actually
of the
coming
company.
and understanding everything.
They come, they go to all the meetings. If she happens to be meeting the president, they'll be in that meeting.
Wow.
If she's
Wow.
chairing a management meeting, they are in that meeting. So that they just know that, you know what, this is what women are actually doing. Maybe this is something that I could potentially be. And how does the world of work, how is it exactly like? So this is what this program is helping these young girls to be. I'll tell you, ladies, you will not believe that when I asked one of the ladies what has been the highlight of your interaction with the organization that I'm coming from, she told me that getting into an elevator. You know, you would expect that she was going to say, I've learned a lot, leadership dynamics, financial literacy. She said, just getting into an elevator. The other one, who is not even from a rural area, she's from Airport, she said the highlight has been coming into town and getting into an office building, because I don't have a relative who really works in an office. So, you know, these are the little things that we take for granted. But I'm so proud that we were able to expose these girls, because for us, this is part of the agenda of the program, because this is what we think is makes mentorship a reality. You want to help these girls with just exposure, for them to know what's going on around them, what matters, what are other women doing, even men, what are they doing, how is the business world, how is the political space, where can I fit in? So this is what we've been trying to do for the girls. And it's so humbling when you start hearing them speak, the things that you thought were nothing. You hear them
They're
talk
everything
about
to them.
and they're everything. You know, one of the girls actually said, you know, the highlight has been, we had a meal which had 2 different meats. If I tell you that right now, you think, what is that? But for a girl who is not even in the village, this is something new, something different.
We will continue, Melody. This is quite enlightening, opening, thought-provoking as well, and I'm sure it becomes a challenge to almost each one of us. So really, when we come from the break, we would want to unpack more in terms of, when we're talking about mentorship, how best can it be done where we get these results that you are alluding to. So join us after the break. We'll continue with our discussion. Welcome back, where we continue with our discussion. Mind-blowing discussion, I must say. Yes, and for me, it gives me goosebumps as we are coming from Women's Month. And I am actually seeing that we are making a difference within the community. Melody, you spoke about the issue of mentorship.
Yes.
Maybe let's unpack it. for us to get to a situation where we have girls who are appreciating things that we often take for granted. How should it be done so well? What is it? How best can we do it for us to achieve those results?
Sure, Tari, you know what? Mentorship is one of the subjects that is so generalized. Everybody think that they know mentorship because they are occupying a certain office.
Yes.
When I went through mentorship training myself, I just felt embarrassed because of what I thought mentorship was, and I was the one who was driving the issue at work. So people were viewing me as an authority. So I couldn't declare that, you know what, I knew absolutely nothing. Because when you are talking about mentorship, we are not going to the girls to impose our views on them, or things that we failed to achieve, and we think this was supposed to be who I should have been, and you think this is what the girl should do.
Yes.
Mentorship, in simpler terms, Tari, is a deliberate effort where we have a mentor and a mentee walking side by side. You are supporting this girl, not by telling them what to do, but by exposing them, opening their minds, asking them critical questions, so that when they make mistakes, because we are supposed to make mistakes if we are, if you're going through the normal paces of life. So when they make mistakes, at least they have an advantage of having you to have thrown to them a bit of some questions, so that you get them thinking. Even if they are going to choose to be dating a guy who you really think is a no-no, it's not your place to tell them that that guy is a no-no. Just ask them a question. So what does he do? Expose them to something which you think might help them open their minds. If they still decide to make a mistake, apparently you must let them. But the mistake that we make as mentors is to think that you must tell somebody that their boyfriend, because he is a tuck shop owner or because he is a windy, you must say no to them. You know, matters of the heart. Even if you say no.
So you're saying leave them to make the mistake.
They must.
Mentorship is like counseling. You don't give advice.
You don't impose your views.
Yes.
You don't impose your conscious issues, whether it's religion, whether it's politics. Even if you think that the religion that they've chosen, you think it's not a good one. It's not your place to
give them the liberty.
It has nothing to do with you.
Wow.
But mentorship, unfortunately, a lot of mentors, because they go in there without training, they will go and start telling the kids, why are you not fasting? Why are you not doing this? You evangelize mentorship. You shouldn't. You shouldn't mother these girls. The moment you do those two things, Tari, you lose them. They will just go through the paces because they have to conform, but it will not change them. So it will be all in vain. We spend hours and hours, but the girls will just not change. The girls will never break up with their windy. All that.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is be as open-minded as possible. And it's such a painful thing because sometimes you're saying, oh, word, how can this girl be doing this?
You should do this.
But it's not your business to actually tell them, go and date a guy who's got a profession. Maybe one day you want to take them out to this place where they're going to meet people with husbands who are professionals.
Yeah.
They make them see that, oh, these guys are doing so well. These guys are so happy because their setup is like this.
Yeah.
You have done your part as a mentor because you have exposed them. So if they don't read between the lines, try storytelling. Say something that will kind of relate to them, so that they have an opportunity to process. So when somebody is privileged enough to have a mentor, they are lucky that there was someone who prompt them, who probe them, so that whatever decisions they are making from a point of information. So your business as a mentor is exposure. Hold their hand, walk side by side, listen to them, ask them questions. That's mentorship. When you are asked questions, I get you thinking. If you decide to choose a certain job, a certain profession, a certain program at university, it's not my place to say, don't choose medicine, choose engineering. I'll say, have you researched? Go onto this website. It gives you advantages and disadvantages. For our market, can you talk to X? Can you talk to Y? Can you show me your list of the advantages? So why are you choosing engineering? So in the process, you're opening their eyes, you're opening their minds, such that by the time they make their decision, they have enough information to either make a good decision or a bad decision. But it's probably a bad decision in your eyes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Who is eligible for this mentorship thingy? you're doing?
Okay, so the way we do it, we try as much as possible to work through the framework of government, the education system.
Yeah.
We work through the Ministry of Education. So the 200 girls who are enrolled for our program are girls who come from schools but through the ministry. We get their names from the
Okay.
ministry, but they are from across the provinces,
Okay.
all the 10 provinces, and it's a total of 200 girls.
The selection criteria,
So the
because somebody who's actually watching is saying, no, I want to go there.
Yeah.
So what we would want is for Melody to speak to young
Yes.
girls now so that they learn and then say,
Yes.
for me to be able to even go, and I'm even tempted to say I want to come and start you know.
I know. You know what, Tari? It's very, very unfortunate that right now, the way it's structured, a girl can't necessarily initiate on their own to come directly to our company, TelOne, to enroll themselves into the program. The school has to identify if they meet a certain criteria. We are not necessarily even looking for girls who are A grade, because sometimes somebody is not A grade because of circumstances. So we are looking for girls using a certain criteria, which is not necessarily academic, but maybe they have got a disadvantaged background. This is a girl who has, stood against the odds. They are an orphan. Maybe they are heading a family of fellow siblings without nobody to look after them. So the ministry is and the school authorities are helping us to identify such girls so that we enroll them. But just to assure all the other girls out there, if we happen to then go out to meet this particular mentee enrolled in our program, we have made a deliberate decision to say we are not just going to go to a school and meet one girl. We will take our time and go with as many ladies who are professionals and trained mentors from TelOne to also spend time talking to the girls. I'm very proud to tell you, ladies, that we were at Gwanda, we were at Epworth, at Chinyika, in Goromonzi. Guys, it's a humbling experience. You must try it. We spent an hour with the girls at these schools that I'm talking about, and the things that they were asking, you would imagine if they had not asked this question, where were they going to get this
The
information?
answers. Oh my God.
So it's so life-changing. Everyone we went with, including our lady engineers who don't always come out and speak to people. They said, I want to do this. Please make a plan. I want to do this every month, because they could feel the impact.
Yeah. Indeed, and Alice and I are actually even feeling the impact. I introduced her as a powerhouse, and I'm sure just listening to her, you can see. Now I don't even know what questions should we remove. We're only left with one segment. Join us after the break. Welcome back. Our discussion on the talk continues. Melody, as you spoke about all these initiatives that you have done, and for a young person who's actually just watching you, speaking to them in terms of the importance of them to be able to say yes and say no. We are looking at just capacitating them. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I'm trying to find nuggets in terms of where can you just pick and assist young people.
Okay, you know what? The biggest thing that can help anybody, not even girls, anybody to say yes or no, is being empowered. If you have your own money, nobody can tell you what to do. You know what I mean? So we always strive to make sure that girls or young people should focus in trying to define where they're trying to go. Because we know all of us are excited and want to make money, but it takes focus. So let's support young people to help them define where they want to go. Let's support them to understand the power of being empowered. It's not enough to just say, stop having boyfriends. It's not good for you. You are young. Help put it in context. Use storytelling so that these young people can understand where you are coming from. So for me, those two are very important. Help young people to know that for you to be able to say yes or no, there's an element of empowerment that you require. And I think besides the issue of money, let's also talk about the importance of information. Sometimes a young person is just not informed the moment they get to be able to talk to somebody. So never underestimate the impact of some of these initiatives, even if you don't leave dollars and cents or things that are physically tangible. When you go to a young person, when you go to a community and you impart information, believe me, you are also helping somebody to be able to say yes or no. And when we say yes or no, Tari, it can mean anything.
Yeah.
It can be sexual, it can be physical, it can be being bullied.
Yes.
So when you are empowered, you are able to then stop some of these vices.
Yeah.
And this is more so for our young women, because masuvano kwane mbinga.
Exactly.
Mbinga ikauya ikakupa mari. Why should you say no to whatever they ask you to do? So we are saying, mbinga ikakupa mari, mari inonaka. We can't say mari mbinga, it's bad. But what is bad is, are you then able to say yes or no? Yes. It means you are their victim.
Wow, Melody, you are indeed a powerhouse. I'm so mind blown. You know, the world needs a lot of women like you. You mentioned two things regarding women empowerment. That's having your own money and having information. I would like to know if there are other things that pertains to women empowerment, other factors.
Do you know what? I just want to say to young women, if ever you are going to make it, never be apologetic of who you are. But it's not enough being a woman. You know, there are a lot of women who are so sharp. So there is competition. The world is not waiting for you. So I just want to say these precise things. Firstly, when you are given an opportunity, whether it's at a school assembly, whether it's at work, whether it's at church, stand out. Don't be apologetic. Let people must remember you. So if somebody is going to want to give somebody a contract, they want to give somebody a job, they want to send somebody on a mission, be top of mind.
Yeah.
So package yourself as a brand. I also want to say to people, you know, we are in the digital space.
Yeah.
Don't be left behind. Be alive to it. Try, even if you were not born in the I don't know if you're Z generation, what generation are you? I don't know what you are. But whatever generation you are, reality is the world is moving on. It's digital.
Yeah.
Try yourself, define your space. And the internet is one thing that reaches far and wide and it doesn't forget. You can never delete, you can never undo.
That
So
digital
be conscious, be educated, be digital literate. You must understand social media. How can you use it to make money? How can you use it to define a brand? How can you use it to propel yourself even career-wise? You don't want to sit back and think that because I had so many A's in my O level or I've got this degree, and you think somebody's going to come fish you out. There's social media, there's LinkedIn, there are so many other platforms which you can take advantage of. So young women, young girls must know that there's always an opportunity for them to rise, but they have to put in something.
Yeah.
You have to invest in it. Don't sit back and wait for somebody to come and fish you out. Stand out, make an effort. You know,
How do I stand out, Melo?
So I was talking to girls at Goromonzi. I said to them, I asked a simple question: who would like to come up here to hold this chart for me? The girls in front were all looking down. So I said to them, chitima chatokusiyai. Dai pari pamari ndokutosara.
Wow.
That one who raised their hand, out of 300 girls,
Wow.
only one girl raised, not to say something, but to come and hold the chart for me.
Hey.
So I'm saying, define yourself, be purposeful, be deliberate about how you want to carry yourself. I arrived at this particular place without quite knowing one of you personally. But I'm sure, I don't want to blow my horn, but I'm sure you don't, but I hope you remember me.
Exactly.
Because I'm very deliberate about how I create these relationships. I'm trying to push what I do in terms of business.
Yes.
And I can only do that if I do something that makes me stand out. So I'm saying, don't be too apologetic. Don't look down when people are asked to come up front.
Exactly.
Take an opportunity, take a chance. If you are going to go out, we partnered ladies at our workplace to travel, to go to these schools to do the mentorship. And we partnered this young engineer with the managing director. Everybody was panicking on her behalf. I said, you know what? This is actually a lucky day for you. Because the big lady is now going to know you personally.
Exactly.
Already, whether it's about the company or elsewhere, you are now being known by a brand. She has other networks, she has other connections.
Exactly.
So this is how you stand out. So my message is, don't be apologetic, stand out. And unfortunately, because we are Africans, girls are always asked to be very cultured. Itatsika.
Exactly.
And tsika means kuzviduku even without we just stand out. So sometimes I've told young girls, sometimes dzungu is actually profitable.
Hey.
What is called dzungu is maybe being assertive.
Yes.
So don't always be afraid of these judgmental statements, because some are actually meant to box you.
Yes.
Because society is structured to box girls, it's structured to box women. So don't allow society to box you. Don't conform, don't over conform.
Yeah.
We want girls who are decent, obviously, but don't over conform. Be aggressive, be assertive.
And I would like to know, how best can we find our way up the corporate ladder as women?
Okay, obviously, the starting point is we also need to get an education. Try to go to school, learn every day. And even if you start by getting all the use in the world can give you, there's always an opportunity for you to start afresh. We have an engineer who we are very proud of at our workplace. She didn't even go to A-level. She didn't get the best O-level passes. But she decided to go through a diploma course. After that, she went to a degree level. She's done a master's. Now she's even really flourishing. She's doing very well. So
Wow.
point is, get an education, continue to learn, create a network, get a mentor. Those are very important things. No matter who you are, even a CEO of a company, they also need a mentor. Get mentored deliberately. You can have a mentor from a distance. You look up to Chipom Tasa, you may look up to Divine Dukula, you can look up to Peggy Mbuludu, but look up to somebody.
Yes.
That's indirect mentorship. But also try to get a deliberate direct mentor.
Melody,
Hey.
we have run out of time, literally run out of time. Need I even say more? I don't want to add anything, otherwise I'll dilute the message. Until next week, it's goodbye.